No one expected the silence. Not from Harry, not after everything hashtagging. But when he stood frozen, phone in hand, staring at the messages that flickered across the screen, even those closest to him knew, this wasn't just another tabloid scandal. This was betrayal. And not just any betrayal. This was the kind that shattered bloodlines, burned down what little trust remained in an already broken family, and cast a long, permanent shadow over the monarchy. It began with a misplaced phone. Not Meghan's, but an old device, long tucked away, forgotten in a drawer, found during a routine packing day at one of their properties. Harry wasn't even looking for anything. He was simply searching for old photos of Archie when he came across it. The battery was dead, dusty. But something made him charge it. Call it instinct. Call it fate. When the screen lit up and the archives were restored, he found a hidden folder buried deep within the messaging app. The label was innocuous, private. But inside were years of messages. Hundreds of them. All directed to one name, William.at. He assumed it was professional. Discussions about royal protocols, media strategy, family events. But as he scrolled further, the tone shifted. There were late-night messages, sprinkled with emojis, subtle flirtations, and inside jokes that no one else would understand. The language grew warmer, more familiar. Intimate, and then, unmistakably, romantic. Some texts dated back to just before Harry and Meghan's engagement. Others overlapped with their first year of marriage. There were cryptic messages sent on the very night Harry had a public spat with his brother. Meghan had texted William, saying, "I wish you could have been the one to stand next to me tonight instead." Another message, dated months later, read, "Some things aren't meant to be. But I'll never forget hat we had." Harry's hands trembled. He tried to breathe. Tried to find another explanation. Perhaps it was misinterpreted. Perhaps it was emotional support in a chaotic me. But the timestamps, language, and the emotional weight were undeniable. This wasn't just friendly communication. This as long-standing, deeply personal emotional infidelity, and worse, it was with his own brother. The betrayal was doubled. From his wife, the woman he had sacrificed his entire royal legacy to protect. And from William, the brother he had once fought to shield from palace politics, the same man he had desperately tried to reconnect with after their father's death. Inside Buckingham Palace, chaos followed. When news of Harry's discovery reached senior aides, damage control began immediately. Queen consort was allegedly briefed. William, upon being confronted by YA private intermediary, neither confirmed nor denied the relationship, but simply requested privacy for all involved. That silence spoke louder than any denial ever could. Meghan, when questioned by Harry, reportedly broke down in tears. She admitted the messages were real, but I insist they had never or acted on anything. It was emotional, she said. I was lonely. He understood me when you didn't. But those words, instead of healing, drove the knife deeper. For Harry, it was more than heartbreak. It was the unraveling of everything he had built since stepping away from a your life. The family he had hoped to protect. The wife he had defended against the world. The fragile path toward peace with his brother, now obliterated. Behind the scenes, senior royals debated the consequences. Some argued for silence, to bury the scandal and protect the crown. Others whispered of revoking Harry and Meghan's remaining royal privileges permanently. One insider revealed that King William's inner circle had already begun distancing themselves from any mention of Meghan in public engagements. While Harry withdrew completely. He cancelled public appearances, refused call #S, and was last seen leaving his private estate alone, without security detail. Meghan remained silent, staying indoors with the children, releasing no statements, no denials. But the damage had been done, whispers turned into headlines. The secret affection between Meghan and William. Harry's world collapses. Another win, so #our betrayal. The British press, ruthless as ever, had a field day. American media soon followed, dissecting every old clip, every look exchanged between William and Meghan during official #events. Conspiracy theories exploded online, and in the heart of it all, #Harry remained silent. But silence does not mean peace. Sometimes, silence is where the deepest wounds #hide, where love ends not with a scream, but with the quiet #realization that it was never truly shared. In the end, the fairy tale was never meant to survive the true th. And for Harry, that truth now lived not in headlines, but in a folder of messages. Quiet digital ghosts of trust destroyed.